and today I'm going to tell you a story. This is a story about a princess and a fisherman. So there was a kingdom in which there was a king, and the king had his only daughter, the princess. She was very much loved and adored and respected. She was beautiful, she was stunning and smart, but she could not speak since birth, since childhood. And because she could not speak, everybody told her everything and she just listened. She just listened. But there was this one person that she was completely infatuated by, and it was a fisherman who used to hunt for fish in near a river that was closer to the banks on which the palace of the kingdom was situated. And from her balcony, this princess could see this fisherman at all the times, and he used to sing this beautiful melody while he would go, while singing, he would take a dive into the river, and after a while come out with the rarest kind of fishes, which he would then present it to the king, and the king would be happy and give him some sort of reward. Usually this reward was in the form of gold or jewel, but he was a peculiar fellow because he would not make use of that gold or jewel. He would donate it or sell it for money and then feed some of the fishes that he had kept as pets. Anyway, the princess was completely in love with him. And whenever she got a chance, she would take her little pony and she would ride her way towards the fisherman and just would watch him sing and fish. The fisherman could not understand the sign language, so he could not understand anything that she said with her hands, but he could understand the expression, and when she was happy, he just got it. Anywho, the kingdom was a small one, so it was always at the risk of being invaded because it was closer to this river, which was like a water channel that could allow a lot of trade. So there was this massive kingdom that had emerged right next to this, and that massive kingdom emerged because it had a ruthless warrior king who would invade and kill the kings of other kingdoms and take it over and merge it into his own kingdom. Well, that warrior king came to know about this king of the river and his beautiful princess, and he made a proposal. His proposal was that I will not invade your kingdom, your people will be safe, and I will always provide you with lots and lots of prosperous things if the king agrees to marry his princess daughter to me. I'll keep her as one of my many queens. The king was devastated and unsure, but his ministers were suggesting that he should accept this matrimonial alliance for the betterment of the kingdom and for the survival of the kingdom. So, without asking the princess, he said yes to the marriage proposal. princess came to know about this, she was devastated. She pleaded to the king that I cannot marry the guy you're telling me to marry because I'm in love with the fisherman since childhood. So the king, for the sake of survival of his kingdom and himself and his family, devised a plan. The plan was that he talked to the fisherman in isolation and explained to him that my daughter is in love with you and I want you to reject him. In fact, outright insult, reject her and outright insult her. And for that, I will give you all the riches in the world. The fisherman agreed to that, not because he cared about all the riches in the world, but because of those riches he could feed the fishes, which in turn would have offsprings that he would be able to pick out fish and present it to the kingdom and also use it as food for survival. Then the king devised another plan. He wrote a fake letter on behalf of the fisherman to the princess to meet him late at night. And the princess thought that perhaps, the fisherman wants to marry her and then they can just escape. So, riding her pony, she went to the river near the hut where the fisherman lived and, confessed her love for him. The fisherman, in turn, rejected and insulted her by saying that I cannot marry a woman who cannot sing the same melodious tune that I can sing, and that she should go away and stop thinking about him. The princess was devastated. So instead of going back to the kingdom, to her father, she decided that she would drown herself into the river. When the king came to know about this, he too was infuriated at the fisherman, even though it was his idea to, convince fisherman to reject her. He said, you are responsible for the death of my beautiful daughter, and for that you shall too face the death penalty. But not before facing imprisonment. So the fisherman was thrown into a jail, from which he was able to escape because one of the bodyguards of the king found out about the plan that the fisherman was, conned by the king into convincing him to reject his daughter. But the king had not expected that his daughter would drown herself. He thought, okay, she would get over it and then he would be able to get her married to the warrior king. So one bodyguard came to know about it and he helped the fisherman to escape the prison. He managed to get out, but there were many other guards. They started chasing him, and to save his life, he decided to jump into the river as well, to swim as deep and as far away as he could, and just escape the kingdom and its trial. Fisherman was very much an expert on swimming as deep as possible into the river. But the deeper he went, he realized that this was no river, but in fact this river opened itself into an ocean. in so deep that he ended up finding the princess. The princess was sitting on a bed made out of pearls with another woman who seemed older than her. Turns out that woman was the mother of the mute princess. And then he came to know what happened. So apparently the river always have had a magical power, and the queen, who was the mother of the princess, she wanted the most beautiful child in the universe to be hers. So she made a pledge to the river that you give me the most beautiful child and I will sacrifice myself to you. So while she was about to deliver the baby, she managed to sneak out into the river, drowned herself, and out of the river came the mute princess. And now the princess was also back into the river with her mother. And then the fisherman explained that why the king did something like this. She said that there is another king. He explained that, there's this warrior king from this bigger kingdom who wants to invade the kingdom of your husband. So he wants to marry your daughter off to him. And understanding the gravity of the situation, the queen managed to summon all of the power of the river, and the water managed to break through the land and find its way to that bigger kingdom of the warrior king. And that big kingdom got flooded. It was engulfed in water. But because it was a magical water, all of the common folks managed to survive except of that warrior king who drowned and whose soul was imprisoned into the depths of the water. After that, after utilizing all that power, the princess and the queen mother emerged out of the river. And the king realized everything. After the queen mother explained to him everything, he apologized to the fisherman and agreed to the marriage of his daughter and the fisherman. They got married, and then fisherman kissed the young princess, and it created magic around them, and that magic allowed her voice to return